All right, welcome back, Math 565M. This is video number 3 for November 11th. Right now, we're going to do a quick or a light touch on SBAC or the CASP, which is starting in 3rd grade in California, which is the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium. So I just want to take you through a little bit about the philosophy here, and also you're going to take a little sample test. Okay, so let's take a look at what this is about. So it's the Smarter Balanced Assessment System, and we've seen a couple of pieces from this particular assessment system, and it was developed after the Common Core came out in the state of California. And since it has come out, this assessment consortium has built a lot more resources for teachers and has created spaces where we can do interim assessments with our older students, sometimes called IABs, where we can sort of measure how far along they are before taking the summative assessment, which usually occurs in May of every school year. So the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium has created a digital library for teachers, which is an online collection of thousands of educator-created classroom tools and resources. They have interim assessments that are optional and flexible that you may give throughout the year to help monitor your students' progress. They're very similar to the tasks that we design. And then at the end of the year, there are summative assessments for grades 3 through 8. And in high school, they do the CASP, and it's a computer administered test. And what the computer does is it responds to what the students do. So it adapts the questions. If the student is successful, the questions get more difficult. If the student is being challenged, the questions will get easier. That's what's called an adaptive test. And it's in English and math for everybody in California, unless they get a waiver. So here's an overview. There are the summative assessments, which you see here, which I kind of don't think they should be at the top of the triangle, but they are. And those are for accountability purposes. There is a lot of discussion in education right now about the validity of summative assessments, what kind of biases are embedded in them. Just being able to administer the test is really challenging, because if the student doesn't know how to use a computer, they are going to have a difficult time completing the test. And so that right there, it puts some students at a disadvantage, particularly if they don't have a technologically savvy home. Then there are interim assessments, which support our teaching, which are like formative assessments. And also there are some instructional supports that the suite has created. So the interim assessments and the formative assessments, which they call the instructional supports, go hand in hand. So here are a few links that I have placed on your document for you. Let me just show you what the website looks like. So they are committed to supporting teachers, and you can go and spend some time on the website. When you administer this, you usually have to take a training and sign an affidavit every year. So I'm not going to go into it too much, because of course there are 5 different grade levels taking this. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to select your location and put in your state or territory. And then most of the time you have to have a school login to get pretty far into the portal. So if I was going to get into this portal, I would need some login information. And then this is another link that I've given you, which is a commitment to support teachers. And so you can spend some time here looking at the types of tasks that students might be given and how you can prepare for that using your Common Core state standards and also the practices that we've been learning in CGI. They have a browse test items section, which is where you can find sample items to see what kinds of things might be on a test. And it also includes the targets and the claims about the test. So for example, if I picked grade 3 and I picked mathematics and I wanted to look at problem solving and I looked at the targets, it gets pretty technical pretty quickly. And again, you're going to have to learn that at the school and the grade level that you are going to be teaching in. Typically, TK to 2 does not take this test, but we do have to prepare our students to think critically and also to be technologically savvy, which most of them are now, except for if they're in TK or K, right? Because they were on Zoom last year. So what I'm going to invite you to do right now is you're going to actually take a practice test. And so you're going to go to the link that I have given you on your Word document. Let me show you the exact link that you're going to be needing. And that is this link right here. Okay. Oh, pardon me, that's the Jamboard link. This link right here where it says complete a sample test at Smarter Balanced. I'm going to actually put it in bold for you all. Okay, so you're going to complete that test. It's not going to take you that long. And you can spend as much or as little time as you want. So you're going to click on the state of California, and then you're going to go to the student interface practice and training tests. And you're going to log in as a guest user. Okay. Then you select your grade. So pick third and up. Okay. And then you're not going to pick from the ELA, you'll pick a math practice test. So what I'm going to ask you to do is really think about, can you do the practice test and the performance task, just to sort of see what these tests are like. So when you click on it, you can also have some adaptations that you can request, American Sign Language, integrating. You can take a look at this, particularly if you're going into special education. And then it asks you to check the sound in the video. So you click it. Yes, I can. And then you begin your test. And each test will be different, right? It'll be different depending on what you get, what you respond. So you'll go ahead and do the test. Make sure that you scroll down and you'll start to see what some of the biases are in terms of being able to use the computer and understanding how the windows work and what different functions mean, right? So you have to expand the window, you have to minimize the window, you have to be able to scroll up and down in the different windows and understand how that works. So this is important that teachers understand this, and then you'll move on through the questions. Once you have finished your test, what I want you to do is go back to the Jamboard on page 6. And there's the whole group discussion that was in red on the prompt before. You're going to post the grade level of the SBAC sample test you took. Include your first and last name. That's all I want you to do, is include that grade level. Okay? Have fun.